Things are happening so fast now. Check out Sheran's journal to see some of the things I've been experiencing lately. It's pretty cool. Also, as far as the storm goes, we know when it goes quiet, things are happening. And things are quiet, although blackouts are being experienced in some parts of the world. On with our video. Me, Ivo, I want to discuss this as one of the points on the 365 things you do that show how disempowered you are. Ivo, very well, my love. Me, one thing I find is I get many people messaging me on Facebook. I've now shut down my account and unfortunately it's going to take 30 more days before Facebook cans it. I'm gladly walking away from it for a variety of reasons. I've tried many times before but now I see that I've gotten all the information I need to move on. Why? First of all, I believe that the information that's being circulated around the US election is full of disinformation. JFK Jr. is slated to reappear from the dead on March 4th, even though he said to me, "I'm actually dead," when I was mulling over yet another meme claiming that he's alive. I believe what I hear since I can talk to anybody. The DS is still trying to inundate us with lies. I feel better the less I watch of this stuff. Doesn't that clue you in? The other thing I'm seeing is a bunch of actors going through a staged production. Everyone, and I mean everyone, is playing a part. And it's for the sake of the audience to decide how they want to feel about it, nothing other than. It's all being done for our sakes. It all feels like crisis actors acting out their roles. Why? Because it's about us all trying to achieve higher consciousness. The election and the coming events, some of which will be shocking, will teach you where your trust was misplaced, and that this whole thing is going on in order to teach you how to take your power back. That's the whole point of it. I don't need it. I've already done the work. Everything that's going on is a reflection of what's going on in the collective mindset of the people of Earth. So here's one for you: stop believing in evil. When you continue to believe in evil, you keep evil alive. You also keep yourself in the lower duality and separation consciousness and far from a 5D frequency. I'm seeing this as an act of love on the part of everyone involved. I know, radical, and Sheran's lost her mind. No, I haven't. I'm gaining it back. I'm telling you, these players that everyone calls evil, why are they still around? The GFL could have removed them from the planet and killed them off without our knowing about it and just helped us that way, but they're still here and are acting out roles, trying to start wars, trying to oppress the people, etc. etc. All they're doing is trying to show you how they have disempowered you in the past and they're acting on your side now if you look at it the right way. If you view it from the perspective of a scared victim, you're not looking at it the right way. As someone who has learned through being abused, I can tell you this is very possible. I thought my father was the devil incarnate when I was a kid, and now I understand him and what he did for me. It's all how you use it. What about those players who have been arrested and then released after cutting a deal with the Alliance? They released information that is helping to find children in the underground bases. And I keep saying, clones can be used by the GFL to go act out roles as well. As for JB, do you think that the other major world powers are going to let him start a world war? Really? If you're using any of this information being circulated to hate anyone, you've missed the point. And trust me, I'm not in love with my PM at all, so I struggle with the Canadian side of this now. But I still believe what I'm saying is right. We're seeing Mr. B signing EOs with no script on them sitting in an office that's a stage set for a movie. We see his wife turning up to the same event with 2 different pair of shoes on. We see him swearing on a satanic Bible. It's all to show you, folks. It's a play. It's a TV show, a movie. Call it what you will. Now, there are things going on in the background to liberate the children in the dumps and other more serious things like that. The darkness is being cleaned up and it is fighting back too, but so much of this is staged it's not funny anymore. What we don't see is real and the Alliance and the GFL are dealing with it, along with other ET groups. What we do see is a staged production to begin to guide us on an ascension process. What I want to know is who is producing this movie. I believe it's Ashtar Sheran. And I believe it's been partially staged now for at least 4 years. Why? Because if the DS really wanted to win the election, why wouldn't they have put in a stronger candidate against Mr. T? Mr. T was supposed to win. Why? It was all a cooperation between the different sides and it was staged even then. The whole with the fake ballots and increased numbers, all staged for us to see. We found out. It was a false and that's what's been going on. They're only showing us our history and showing us the truth by using clones who are actors. The real ones, save maybe Mr. T and company, are already dead. It's a production. With the voting machines doing their work so efficiently, why did Mr. T win in 2016? Because that's the candidate the light wanted in and it got him in. Their quantum computers are far better than anything the D company can produce and they can override any corruption attempt. Now, there is a cabal and the dark ones are still running around this planet still trying to kill us with bombs, but their numbers are dwindling. But they don't have half the power they appear to have. This is all staged, people. All a big production for you to see. There are so many things that are obvious glitches, they knew we'd catch on. They're telling us. The light said we won a while ago, around 2012. The actors now are enacting our past, not our present. In the present, the light has already won. They are showing us what's been going on and awakening as many as possible to the truth in order to change the timelines. So they're the ones who have been staging this production using clones. The solution for the V and Bill G's V are the med beds. Already taken care of. Some will die, yes. But before 5 years is up and the numbers really start to get bad, med beds will roll out. They're due out this year, as a matter of fact. Ivo said to me, and this is what really helped tip me off, it doesn't matter who is POTUS, my love, in any case every timeline now leads to the eventual freedom of all upon earth. That's because we've won. We're just seeing actors showing us how corrupt this earth has been. They want us to take back our power and say no. This is all for our empowerment. There's no point of my being on FB anymore because I got it. I understand what's going on. I figured it out myself. Neither Ashtar nor Ivo told me. But one of them said, in our recent video, that they have to keep us from knowing certain things until they get them to where they want them, then they can release it for us to see it and understand and decide our timeline based on that information, to anchor that truth. That's because they're dealing with everything in the background, and then when it's released to us to know, it's because we have to anchor it into the timelines. If you can maintain a high frequency throughout all of this, you've won. You've done it. If you're not worried about what's going on, or what your future will look like, you give yourself the gift of not having to experience anything too negative. That's metaphysics and universal law. You attract things depending on your frequency. If it's fear, then you attract more to scare you. If it's love, then you attract more to love. If you can learn to love everyone that's parading around on the media these days, and the media themselves in spite of their behavior, if you can love these players, you've aced the game and you're certainly helping humanity now. And let me repeat that, you don't have to love their behavior, but you can still love them anyway. If you can do that, you've aced it. Loving them in spite of their deeds. This doesn't benefit them, it doesn't sell you out or make you unpatriotic, it keeps your vibe elevated so that you're not affected by what they do. That's metaphysics. The best thing you can do for your country right now is to keep your vibe high. But believe me, you may be tested. When you say you love your country, then love your country, no matter what's going on with it. The same way you would love a child, no matter how they behave. Look at Simon Parkes. Watch his videos. He talks about the players with humility, he doesn't spew malicious venom at these people for being the people they are. He just talks about it with no overreactive negativity. Obviously, he's not in love with the things they've done, of course not. But he doesn't direct loads of negativity at anyone, because he knows he'll be the first to suffer from it. Okay, the other reason I'm not on Facebook anymore, is that in light of this information, and I believe it to be true, there's no point in my trying to influence anyone anymore. I'll continue to put out videos to do the one thing that is left to be done, go through ascension. The rest of you who haven't started to do your inner work will be doing it along with the ET forces that will guide you through a show of what's happening on this planet. Ivo and I will focus more on people doing their inner work. The truth of Earth, at least America, is being revealed to people in a way that won't harm us. Why do you think Mr. T insists there be no violence? That's one of the agreements he's made with the GFL. They want minimal loss of life. It's just figuring out how much of this is staged for our understanding and what is really a threat to us. I believe there is less threat than we believe. We can relax now. It's the media's part to continue to put out the one-sided narrative so that people who believe them get to hear the lies they believe. They need to wake up too. The truth is there for them to see if they want to. So, in light of all of this, I don't need to post on Facebook anymore. People can go to my website or come here to find out about disclosure, which will ramp up this year. Which leads to today's message. When you disguise your true intentions, don't think that people can't figure them out. People who do this are either unaware of what they're doing, unconscious behavior, or they are aware and look for people who are givers in order to use guilt on them to get them to comply. I get so many people messaging me with messages that would not hold up to public scrutiny. That is a misuse of chat or messenger, by the way. To hold a secret conversation with the intention of trying to manipulate the receiver. There isn't one person who messaged me that I can recall anyway, just to see how I was. People don't do that. They message you to get something from you. This particular situation I am thinking of, I was given some help with an issue I have, and I assumed that this was given out of free will. No, I was asked for something afterwards, because the person had most likely approached me bearing this gift in order to get something back. That is a very clear case of a sneaky manipulative person who uses obligation and guilt to get what they want. This comes from the school of we come bearing gifts, when in the days of Troy, the Trojan horse pulled up housing a load of Greeks inside armed with swords. Those who are selfish only think of their own gains, and givers like me are their favorite target. Beware of Trojan horses, people. I remember the meme that said, givers need to have boundaries because takers never do. And this applies here. It gets old dealing with people who may not even be aware they're deceiving others. Old ingrained behaviors are like a nicely worn groove on your vinyl, but you may be in for a shock when people like me are wise to them. These manipulators are probably not even aware of how manipulative they truly are, but the one on the path of light will always sense the intention of the other. Life is a test of your boundaries and your ability to assert yourself. This is also a lesson in self-empowerment. Sneaks like these people are the ones who create the tests. With the storm right now, you're seeing so many people who would have believed the deceptions now understanding the truth of the situation we're in. Really, think about it. That's great progress for the people of Earth in taking their power back. Great progress. So many more aware now. Deception and lying has to be removed from the fabric of our interaction. And those who speak the truth shouldn't be seen as weak, they are the brave ones who can be vulnerable in front of a crowd. When you use Messenger or chat, watch how you treat people. If the sneak in you is coming out, your message may not be as well received as you want. Ivo, my love, I cannot tell you whether you are right or wrong as to your opinion of the current situation, but you are of course correct when you say the only way up is through God. Perhaps God is the orchestrator of this entire project. Me, yes. But he sent us. And he sent Ashtar Sheran too. I'm certain I'm right. I'm sure my theory will stand up to future events. I'm dead certain of it. Ivo, very well. I know you when you are convinced. Me, it was you guys who told us in the videos of last week. It makes sense to me. How did he get in 2016 against a strong opponent? You guys have told me that you can manipulate things behind the scenes to steer the timelines. Ivo, we can. Me, I can see you grinning. Ivo, I am grinning, my love. Me, oh yes, we're all playing a part in this, aren't we? We're all actors in this big drama. Ivo, yes. Even those disempowered mask-wearing believers are playing a part, and that part is to show those who do not wear masks their own unloving behavior. If you are fighting with those who do, then what is this telling you? Scrutinize your behavior always and you will see the true movie that is playing out here and why you are to see it. Me, thanks, Ivo. Ivo, my love. I bid you good night.